Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. How will Labor's new tax cuts for every Australian taxpayer benefit Australians and support aspiration?
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the member for Jagga for her question. And indeed, as a result of the decision last night, every Australian taxpayer, all 13.6 million of them, will get a tax cut. As a result of the figures that came out
member for Barker.
Recently, across the board, we're also seeing real wages increase. And that's why the direct result of that is what we are aiming for. We want Australians to earn more, and we want Australians to keep more of what they earn. Those opposite want Australians to work longer for less. We know that that is the case. But we made sure that no one was left behind and no one held back. No one left behind by ensuring that those workers who earn under $45,000 a year also got a tax cut. And one of the things that will do is flow right through the tax scales, so that Treasury has estimated that it will result in over 900,000 additional hours of work being worked each week, dealing with good economic policy to deal with the skills shortages which are there. But it also supports aspiration of all Australians. That's why we increased the 120,000 level up to 135, and that's why we increased as well the top marginal tax rate from 180,000 to 190,000. The first increase in the top marginal rate since 2008. And it contrasts with what they did when they were in government, which was, without any notice at all, to introduce a levy on those high-income earners to increase their taxation rates rather than decrease them. Now, Australians will also, of course, are benefiting from other measures that we have. But whilst they voted for it last night over there in the Senate, every senator, they've continued to argue against it. Senator Hume said this morning that they were going to take to the election a tax package in keeping with the stage 3 tax cuts. We will have to go back to the drawing board, she said. So they're starting again. Rollback is back. First they said they would argue against it, then they were going to fight it, then they were going to roll it back, then they wanted an election on the basis of it, then they voted against it. But then they voted for it. But having argued against it, they can change the way that they vote, but they can't change who they are.
The Prime Minister's time. Order.